Well, Mary, the sisters are facing decades in prison.
Decades.
Each charged with 25 counts, including mail fraud and conspiracy to commit mail fraud. Each of those counts carries a maximum penalty of up to 20 years in prison and a $250,000 fine.
Damn. 20 years, $250,000 fine. Is that the sisters right there?
Our cameras captured some of the defendants leaving court today. Investigators...
They ain't even dressed like they're going for court. I wonder if they're wearing the same clothes that they defrauded the retail store for. Yo, they did say activewear. I mean, that's kind of like casual, but they might be wearing the actual clothes that they defrauded the company for. This is crazy. Oh, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Say the sisters would make online purchases shipped to them through FedEx,
they wearing the same
then
clothes.
Request a return. They would then pretend to return the items using self-service kiosks at the post office to scan the return label, which would then get the refund issued, but then not actually return the merchandise. Then they would go ahead and turn around and return the merchandise in person at a brick and mortar store, getting a second fraudulent return.
You know what? That's actually, so this is actually similar to what you could do on like an Amazon. And they actually cracked down on this. There was a person that was, there was a person on Amazon, not on Amazon, but he was, hold on real quick. I'm gonna come out of this real quick. So there's a person on Amazon, right? And he was buying like MacBooks. So he buy like the most highest price MacBook or the most highest price iPad or whatever laptop, right? And then he will return a lesser product. So he buy like the latest MacBook and then return to Amazon, whatever. Like he buy like a 2020 laptop and return like a 2014 laptop. And he was doing that over and over, and he defrauded Amazon for like millions of dollars. Matter of fact, let's see if we can find that story real quick. We're gonna pivot real quick. We'll finish this. We'll finish this, team. Don't worry. We're gonna finish this. I just want to see Amazon $1 million. Let's try $1 million fraud. Would that work? It might not even pull up, y'all. I mean, it should. I don't know. Do y'all remember the story I'm talking about? Yeah, right here. Hold on. I got it right here. Let me pull it back up for y'all, and then we'll go back to the main story. But I just want to show y'all this. Oh, he got 16. Oh, this was the manager. Yeah. So look, hold on. I got it right here. And they always use the money to buy like lavish things. They're never just doing it. Like, here's the thing about the crime, right? They're never doing it just to like feed their family. They do it to buy like Rolexes and Lamborghinis and things they don't need. They don't ever just buy a Toyota Camry. I mean, even get a new one and get the highest trim level. Get the one with the sunroof and the leather and all that. You got to go buy a Lamborghini. And you ain't got no way to prove how you're getting that much money. But look, this is the guy. I think this is him. Or it might have been more than one person. Because I feel like this was longer ago. No, that might have been right. So is this the one? Hold on, let me see. A former Amazon manager has been jailed for 16 years after running a $9.4 million fraud ring while working at the online retail giant. So he was working there. This might not be the same story, but this is interesting just the same. He was in Georgia between 2020 and 2022. It was a woman. Yeah, so I don't think this is the same person. Why are these women committing crimes? You got 5 sisters. Now you got this woman. What's going on? Create fake vendors, pass them off to unknown subordinates to process. Make the fake invoices linked. This is a whole different one. I wasn't even talking about this. But anyways, this person used the proceeds to buy a $1 million home in the same state that she was defrauding. It's the same city and state. Look, I can't pronounce the name of the city, though. I'm not going to hold y'all. I cannot pronounce that. I don't even want to butcher it. But whatever. It's in Georgia. It's the same city. Look, right here. Y'all like, man, how you can't pronounce it? You want me to try to pronounce it? All right. It's weird because the S and the M and the Y. Like if it was Mrara, Smyra, Sprina, bro. Yeah. I'm done, man. Look, I'm gonna figure it out later on. This was I was not prepared to look at this. This is way more elaborate than what they had going on. This person was just buying merchandise from Amazon and then returning it. Basically what these women were doing. All right, let's get back to the story. We got sidetracked. Team. It happens. We start one way and then we end up somewhere else. Oh, I wanted to say this, though. You see this right here? If you zoom in, I just want y'all to know, team, this right here is a camera. So all the self-service, just like any ATM that you go to, they have these cameras right here. So I'm hoping that these women were like at least masked up. It looks like they got caught though. So I don't know if that was half of it, if they were building up a case and actually they didn't realize that they were being filmed every time they were scanning their barcode at the self-service kiosk. And then, you know, that helped them later identify them and build up the case. But
they would then take the physical items that had been delivered to their homes and they would travel to different states across the country. We know they went to California, Colorado, Arizona, Florida, Michigan, all over the country to return those in person.
Wow. So they were doing this throughout the whole United States because they're from Seattle. Shout out to Seattle. It's my hometown. Y'all know I'm in Minnesota now, but I was born in Seattle and, you know, that's always going to be home. So yeah, so they got, damn. And this is all from one retailer, y'all. $500,000 in cash through the fraud ring. $500,000 in gold jewelry was accumulated. 5 Teslas. And we just seen the other person had a Tesla and a Lamborghini. People that commit fraud cannot just live a low-key life. They always got to put themselves in the spotlight. We did the video on the Atlanta city attorney and police officer. She goes out and buys a bright pink Rolls Royce with her PPP loan scam money. Like, this is crazy, y'all. That's the one thing about criminals that they just, when you get fast money, you don't appreciate it the same way that somebody that works hard for it does. Anyways, more than $100,000 in merchandise. Okay. Oh, this is what they got caught with at the time they got caught. Wow. So you're looking at $250,000 in Teslas, cash and jewelry amounting to $1 million, plus $100,000 in merchandise. So they're sitting on like $1.8 million. And remember what they said. The fine is only going to be $250,000, and then, but they're looking at 20 years. So yeah, it's pretty bad.
In a search warrant, sir, federal agents seized from the sisters about $500,000 in cash, about $500,000 worth of gold jewelry, 5 Teslas, and over $100,000 in merchandise from the victim retailer, which is not named in court documents, but we're told all of the items are activewear from the same retailer. Now,
Yeah,
4 of the 5 sisters.
The same stuff they wore to court. They mocked y'all. They wore the things that they stole to represent themselves in a good light in court. Although it didn't really look like court attire to me. They had enough money to go out and get some women's suits.
Appeared in federal court today pleading not guilty to the charges. They were released home on the promise that they would return to future court dates and they must surrender their passports. Reporting live in Seattle, Leanne Wynn.
These women were traveling throughout the country in an elaborate way, mapping out all the logistics to return merchandise, knowing the stores to hit, meticulously planning this, and you just release them on their own recognizance. You know how many migrants come into this country every single day, illegal, undocumented? Now I just want to show y'all this real quick. We're gonna come back. We got more on the story actually, so we'll be right back to this. I just want to pull this part up. This ain't it. Oh, maybe that was it. Oh, this was it. Why did it change my? Oh, you know what? We're gonna move this. I had it queued up already, but whatever. These are the criminals right here. Y'all, I am bad with pronouncing names. And city names, apparently. It's still a name, though. Like, I'm looking at my camera right now. It's a Canon camera. Well, Canon's a name, too. Isn't everything a name? I give up. I got nothing. I know Marysville, though, from Washington. I've been there before. All right. So, 3 sisters. 2 of them were back to back. Yeah. Shahad and Raghad. Shahad, Raghad, Najum, Layla. See, finally an easy one. I know the regular ones. Dania. But yeah, those 2, they're like back to back. They had them. They might be like a year apart or less. They could be anywhere from 23 to 10 months apart based on their age. But these are criminals right here. They don't show their faces at all. I don't know how they escaped putting their mugshot up or anything. They were released on their own recognizance after committing some of the most elaborate crimes that we've seen, all finesse, and made millions of dollars doing it. I mean, wow. If they would have did this more low-key under the radar, they easily could have got away with this. I mean, honestly, if you really set it up in the right way, and it seems like I'm always trying to tell y'all how to commit crimes. It probably comes off that way. But I'm just telling you, like, the way they got this set up, I mean, if they took the necessary measures, they could have done this avoiding pretty much all detection. They'd have some trouble going into the retailers, but I'll be honest, they were doing this, started a COVID year, masks on, whatever, gloves, think no fingerprints. You gotta have a mask and gloves on during that time, and a whole hoodie over your face, and really just have your eyes open. And you don't even have to have your eyes covered. You can come in a whole damn face mask, and return stuff, and nobody will know who you are. And you could have gloves on. So, I mean, technically, they could have got away with this. They just kept doing it, though. That's the one thing. You got to use your criminal money to build something legal. Like, that's the goal. When you make enough criminal money, get out of the game. You made $1 million. Now, I mean, honestly, if you want to, you can use that $1 million and live off the interest. Now, you won't be riding around in Teslas and Lamborghinis, but you can live a modest life off $1 million cash, just off the interest alone. You could roughly get $50,000 to $65,000 just off interest if you have $1 million. People live off of way less, and comfortably at that. So I don't get it, y'all. It's kind of weird, but let's finish this up.
5 sisters now face federal charges for alleged mail fraud. Investigators say they made more than $1 million in fraudulent returns. And I talked to reporter Lynn Nguyen about the latest details surrounding this case.
Damn.
All right, Lynn Nguyen, thank you for joining us to talk about this story that you've been working on today. And, you know, these are some really...
Shout out to y'all for reporting on this. I appreciate it. Great job.
Serious charges against these 5 sisters, more than $1 million stolen. What's kind of the backstory here?
Well, the federal government is alleging that they had quite an elaborate mail fraud scheme going on. So what they're saying that these 5 sisters...
How do y'all not manage to get their faces on camera? They don't show... I tried to get mugshots for the thumbnail. Could not find it. So you seen what I threw up. Just some random stuff. But I try to get the mugshots. Like, these women are ghosts. And it kind of makes me think that there's something a little more... I mean, you let them out on their own recognizance. It doesn't even seem like they had a bail. They just had to give their passports up. I don't know, y'all. Some a little bit shady about this story. And you're going to learn that they don't even say who the online retailer is. Who was it? This is all weird.
Allegedly did was that they would purchase make online purchases through an online retailer. It was over $1 million worth of activewear over a period of about 2 years. They've been doing this apparently since March of 2022. So what they would do was make the purchase online, then start a return.
Okay, hold on. Let me just make sure, because I think I had the timelines wrong. I think I said 2022, 2022, but I think they started in 2022. Is that what she said?
They've been doing this apparently since March of 2022. So,
oh, okay, they started in March of 2022, but that was still like the end of COVID. Like, I mean, still now you can pretty much wear masks anywhere and people won't look at you weird. Like if you go in the store with masks and, you know, hospital gloves, nobody's gonna look at you weird. Especially if you really want to go in disguise, you could wear scrubs and now you look like a nurse. You go in there with the N95 mask on and a whole face shield. You could get the face shield tinted. Like nobody's gonna look at you weird at all. Like these women, like honestly, with a little more planning, you got enough money to the point where you can create fake documents, get a slumlord to rent you a shady apartment. There, you can get the item sent there, right? Now you got a burner apartment because the landlord will take cash. He got a trash property, right? You know, slumlords. You know they're already overcharging, so he wants $2,000 for his rundown, dilapidated duplex. And you're like, yo, you want $2,000? You want $2,000 a month? I don't have any credentials, but I'll give you $3,500 a month, and I'll pay for a year up front if you let me get the apartment, and I don't have to do any documents, nothing like that. Or you could just whatever. He gonna take that. He gonna take it. Slumlord is going to take that deal, especially if don't nobody want to rent it. So now what? Now you got a place where you can get all your merchandise sent to. Now, when you're going to the kiosk, I mean, that's the kiosk, so you can easily go there in a whole Pooh Shiesty mask and not even really draw any attention. So now you got nothing there. Then when you go to the brick and mortar to return the stuff, you can go there dressed as a nurse. Y'all are women. You got your scrubs on, N95, tinted face shield, hair wrapped up. They don't know who the hell you are. And the retailers are not going to look at you any different. You could have did the same thing you were doing, and then when the heat really started to catch up, just stop. You got 1.8 million, more than most people will make in a lifetime. Now, you're winning. You can use that money, slowly launder it into clean money, start a business that's legit, and you're scot-free. You had a great operation going, but you wanted to be loose, you wanted to be lazy, and now you got Nugent reporting a whole story on you, laying out your whole case to the world. This is crazy, y'all. We got to be better as criminals. I mean, I'm not a criminal. I'm just... I'm not a criminal, man.
So what they would do was make the purchase online, then start a return. And so then when they got the shipping label back for that return, they would go to a self-serve kiosk at a U.S. Postal Service, scan the return label, but not actually return the merchandise. So once they scan that return label, they would automatically get the money for the return, but they wouldn't actually return the merchandise. Then they would go to a brick and mortar store and return the merchandise in person and then get a second return for that same purchase.
Wow. I mean, that's elaborate. It's very simple, but also very elaborate to come up with that. And oftentimes, I'll go back to Amazon. You know, when you return stuff to Amazon, if it's a lower amount item, you know, usually it could be like, I don't know, let's say you bought like a 5-pack of toothpaste or something, and it cost like $23, and you got it and it got damaged during transit. Like one of the toothpaste was open and then it spilled all over everything, and then you return it. So you know, you get the Amazon, you go to Whole Foods, Kohl's, UPS. The second that you drop the item off to UPS and they scan the barcode, they refund you immediately. You get your $23 back in your account instantly. And, with that, then you don't have to worry about anything. Amazon ain't even going to see the item for like 2 weeks. They'll get into their office, it'll finally get shipped back from UPS maybe 5 days from then. And then by the time they even sort through it, it could be 3 weeks out. And then the people that sort through it don't even care. If it looks anything close to the item, they're like, whatever. They go through millions and millions of products every day of returns and stuff. But Amazon usually, as soon as you send the item back, if it's not a high cost item, they'll send your money back right away. And actually, back in the day, before people started doing a lot of these frauds when online was new, they wouldn't, even if it was a high ticket item, like you sending them back, like you buy an iPad on there for $1,200. Second you drop it off, or they got your tracking that it's on the way, they'll refund you your $1,200. Now they don't do it on bigger items, but their main thing with Amazon is customer service. I'll give them that. Amazon is a very shady shady. I don't want to call them shady. I'm just saying it's a lot going on at Amazon. That's a whole different topic. But I'll say this. They definitely do not play around with returns and trying to make sure that they treat you right. If you complain to Amazon, they're usually gonna fix it, and I'll give them respect for that.
So what the federal government is alleging is that they defrauded this online retailer for more than $1 million worth of merchandise, again, over the course of 2 years.
So we're talking about a lot of money, and we're talking about some pretty extravagant moves that they did to carry this out. I understand a search warrant was served. What was found with that?
Right. So they served a search warrant last week on multiple different locations, and they were able to seize about $500,000 in cash, about $500,000 in gold jewelry, as well as 5 different Tesla vehicles, and over $100,000 worth of merchandise from the victim retailer. Now, at this point, we don't know who that retailer is, but we do know.
See, this is what's shady. We don't know who the criminals are. Well, at least the public doesn't know. They don't show the mugshots on the news. For some reason, when somebody captures them leaving the courthouse, they got wraps over their head. They're walking away. You can't see their face at all. You don't know what's going on. Now, we don't even know who the retailer is. But it was the same store. So that same store got hit for over $1 million over the course of 2 years. And there was no red flags before that. When it got to 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, 400, y'all never was like, yo, we need to figure out what's going on. This is super shady, y'all. It is super shady. I don't know. I'm not trusting it. There's something they're not telling us.
In cash, about $500,000 in gold jewelry, as well as 5 different Tesla vehicles, and over $100,000 worth of merchandise from the victim retailer. Now, at this point, we don't know who that retailer is, but we do know.
And also, I want to say, why didn't y'all have a stash house for the loot? You made all this money and you don't got a secure place to put the merchandise and the cash? You should never get caught with all the cash. You got to have that put up in a whole different spot that's not linked to any of y'all. That's through a cousin. That I'm going to talk to y'all at the end of this. I might have an idea.
That all of this was happening at the same store. And yeah, that was just the same one retailer. But the federal government was also telling us that these sisters would make flights to different states to make some of these returns. And that I would assume was just to try and avoid detection. So they were going to making flights to multiple different states, and then doing multiple different returns in that state. And then they would come back home to Washington State.
And a lot of what is good for them is they had an army of 5. So 5 sisters, they can all trust each other because they're all sisters. So there's no leaks between them, right? And I'm pretty sure that now none of them are snitching on each other or anything like that, which is probably half the reason that it's going to be harder to build a case on them, although it seems like they left a lot of paper trails. But with all these different looking people, although they're sisters, they look similar. You're able to 5x anything that you could do with a one person or a two person team. So they got to go to these different retailers because you can't go to the same spot over and over and be seeing the same employees. Over 2 years, though, a lot of these companies turn over employees. Like, employees probably last for 3 to 4 months, especially during the seasonal time. So, you know, it's very easy going to different registers. Oh, I remember that clerk right there. Let me go to this clerk. Return here. So, I mean, yeah, they were smart on that front.
What happened in court today?
So 4 of the 5 sisters had arraignment and detention hearings in federal court today. They all pleaded not guilty to all of the charges.
Of course they did.
And they were also released today. The 4 were released today. Granted, they have to give up their passports. They have certain release conditions that they have to abide by. But 4 of them were released today with the promise, to appear to their future court dates.
We showed them. I don't know if we got no information on them. I'm just saying, based off of their last names, they're not named Smith or Robinson or Clark. I mean, so they got ties to other countries or another country, I would say. So there's a good chance facing 20 years. I mean, they did get hit for a lot of their stash. I don't know what else they got in the reserve, but it's very, very, very likely that that they're gonna leave the country, and they won't have a hard time exiting the country. As easy as it is to come in, I gotta imagine that it's 10 times easier to leave. So these women right here, they're gonna get up out of here. And Washington, they're not that far from Canada. You can get into Canada fairly simply, and then from Canada you can find your way anywhere. So yeah, they'll be out of here. I doubt they're gonna face the judge ever again, and there's just no way to. And I mean, if they did go to as much leniency as they're given, I highly doubt that they're gonna do the max sentence. It seems like they'll get a slap on the wrist for what they did, and it'll be good. It'll be good, but they could have did this so much better, y'all. And then definitely, like, you're probably thinking like, well, what are they gonna do as far as, because they're doing online purchases and the bank accounts and all. It's easy too. I would tell y'all how to do that, but hey, you know what? This is what we need to do. There's a lot of people on YouTube that give out very, very good advice. I mean, they're financial gurus. There's relationship gurus, although they're a little fringe. But people that are experts at taxes, people that are experts at all kinds of different things, technology, logistics. For me, it seems like I'm a guru in how to get away with crime. So maybe I need to start a Patreon, and it'll be all just how to teach y'all how to do crime. Can I say that on YouTube? Man, I'm about to get shadow banned, y'all. I'm interested in this stuff though, so I can't help it. Yo, let me chill, man. I'm about to go in the undirected perspective. Do I got it? Hold on. We're gonna go in the dark one. We're gonna go in the dark perspective. I was gonna go light one, but I'm being super dark right now. I'm not giving y'all the bank. I'm not giving y'all the bank information. I think I'm gonna start a Patreon. We'll do different tiers. So we'll have misdemeanor. No, how does it go? It goes, oh yeah, misdemeanor is the first one. So misdemeanor, we'll do that for like $1.99, not $199, like $1.99. I'm reasonable, y'all. I'm reasonable. Then we'll do gross misdemeanor, and then we gotta jump it up though. We do got it because I'm gonna be giving you more game at gross misdemeanor. Gross misdemeanor $9.99. That's fair. It's a couple cups of coffee, and then we're gonna jump up. Now I gotta hit y'all for this one. We're gonna do felony. The felony tier. That's where I give you a master class. I'll give you a one-on-one coaching call on how to get away with crime. I need $49.99. I need $49.99 for the Patreon. You think Patreon gonna let me on? You think they're gonna let me on with that? Hey, don't nobody steal my ideas neither. What's today's date? Let me timestamp this. What's today's date? It's Friday, June 21st, 1:13 in the morning. What am I doing up at 1:13 in the morning? Join the felony Patreon to figure it out. I need to go to sleep, y'all. Hey, I'm about to leave it there. I got nothing else to say. This whole story is shady to me. I have no idea what's going on with these sisters. They either got some good lawyers or there's somebody behind the scenes that wants to keep this as low key as possible. And that's where I'm gonna leave it at. Yo, until the next one, I appreciate y'all, team. I was so interested in this story, I didn't even do my intro. I didn't ask y'all to do the big four, like, share, comment, subscribe. I didn't say we got another one, team. I know y'all was waiting for that one. And I also didn't say we're only as good as the person on our left and the person on our right. And if you could be so kind, hit the links in the description and support the show. And if you support, or join something like that, well, then maybe I'll give you a little bit of game just on the house. Maybe like first person to send me a dono through one of the links. I'll give you a little something that I would never ever say on YouTube. How about that? Yeah, I got you. But make sure you mention this video because I got other videos, and if somebody supports for that video, it's not gonna be the same as this. So you gotta let me know. All right, I'm about to get out of here. I want to look a little bit more into this story, actually. Yeah, I want to look a little bit more into this. Interesting. All right, team. Till next time.